Funny looking.
Funny looking, you say? How is he funny looking?
I don't know. It's just, funny looking. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me, as always, is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
Today we are going to be reviewing the movie Fargo. Before we get into it, though,
Yeah.
let's check out that trailer, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it gave it justice. I forgot about this trailer.
I'm Jerry Lindegaard. You got the car? You bet. Brand new burnt umber Sierra.
You want your own wife kidnapped.
Her dad, he's real well off.
So why don't you just ask him for the money?
See, these are personal matters.
It's personal. It's personal matters.
Wait, it's
Personal
Jerry. I don't know what
matters.
to do. It's my wife. We gotta talk. It's something hard, geez. It's terrible.
I love it. Picks up phone.
Oh, I got the state looking for a Sierra with a tag starting VLR.
I'm not sure that I agree with you 100% on your police work there, Lou. I think that vehicle there probably had dealer plates.
Oh,
Jeez.
Or DLR.
Jeez.
jeez, yeah.
You're good, Marge.
One, so we got a trooper pull someone over.
Oh,
Oh, it certainly is, officer. Still got that smell.
There's a high-speed pursuit. We got a shooting, and then this execution type deal.
$1 million is a lot of damn money. They got my daughter.
you see something, Marge?
lunch, Margie.
Oh, I think I'm gonna hurl.
Oh, yeah, looks pretty good.
Oh, got some night crawlers, eh?
My wife.
Love it.
Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking.
You were having sex with a little fella then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Brainerd.
Mr. Lundegaard, you mind if I sit down? Carrying quite a load here.
Where's Jerry?
Got your damn money. Now where's my daughter?
Jeez.
Blood has been shed. We now want the entire 80,000.
I answered the darn... I'm cooperating here.
You have no call to get snippy with me. I'm just doing my job here.
What do you fellas got yourself mixed up in?
Police!
Such a weird movie
Is
for the
there anything else you can
mid-90s.
tell me about him?
He wasn't circumcised.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is it weird? Is it weird that I kind of find both of those hot? Both of them hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
In that weird 80s looking sort of weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It was what, mid-90s? 96,
Yeah.
I think this one was. Yeah, it was such a
So-
strange movie. You know what? When it first came out, of course I never saw it in theaters. Had no interest in watching it then. I don't think I watched it until I was in college after I graduated. So um, I think I was more interested in, the cop movie. It was strange. Steve Buscemi was in it, so you thought it would be a
Yeah.
little bit funny. At that time,
It was a little bit funny. Steve Buscemi had some funny parts in it.
yeah, and I think he played more of an annoying character than anything else because his partner was very silent and wanted to do the job and get the job done, more business, and
Very
he
Russian.
just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, until at the end of the movie he got sick and tired of it and ends up putting Buscemi's character in a wood chipper.
And a wood chipper, eh? Oh, no.
Yeah. Eh? So IMDb says that the Minnesota car salesman Jerry Lundegaard, which of course played by the great William H. Macy, inept crime falls apart due to his and his henchmen's bungling and the persistent police work of the quite pregnant Marge Gunderson, which is played by Frances McDormand. A great all-star cast. When it comes to this movie, Frances McDormand, William H. Macy, John Carroll Lynch, which played Norm. Frances McDormand's Marge's husband in the movie. So it's one of those movies to where you stay trying to figure out what's going on. You don't know. I feel that you didn't really know the reason why Jerry wanted the money. He was trying to embezzle it, or first off, he tried to get the money from his father-in-law, which his father-in-law did not like him whatsoever.
We
Was
didn't
very
need
up.
to know why he wanted the money
No,
because it was personal
exactly.
reasons.
It was all personal
Personal
reasons. He said, "Well, that's kind of personal. You don't need to know why." Yeah. So he tries to get it that way. He's trying to get the money from his father-in-law, like I said,
Mhm.
through a ransom. So he was trying to
Mhm.
ransom because his father-in-law liked his wife, or like basically his daughter, but did not care anything for Jerry, and was basically upset that the fact that they even got married. Like
Their
she was
son.
better than him.
It
Yeah,
was their son. Yeah.
yeah. So he tries that way, and then he tries another get rich quick scheme by trying to build a parking lot, which they liked the idea, but they weren't just going to give him the money. They really wanted to
Well, they're not a
look
bank.
into it. Exactly.
They're
So
not a
he tried
bank.
to embezzle. He was going to basically try to embezzle it from them for them to just give him money, like give him a loan. And of course, that didn't work out. So, and then when everything just starts to go by the wayside with them kidnapping his wife, and then he wanted to give them the money. So, of course, Mr. Lundergaard ended up going to the rooftop to meet Buscemi's character, and then of course all hell breaks loose because they bring out pistols and they shoot each other. It's just a trail of death as you go
Basically.
through. A trail of death as you go through. With the couple seeing their faces on the side of the road, he chases them down. He shoots them, which is basically what brings Marge's character, the cop, pregnant cop, brings them into the play. And she's pretty smart. She's pretty quick. That's a
Yeah.
detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The weirdest the weirdest scene that I would have to say, I mean, of course there's a bunch of them, but my weirdest scene and my best scene. So the weirdest scene is where he meets up with the Asian. God, I can't remember his name now. But the guy that used to kind of have a thing for her back in high school,
Oh
he
yeah.
met her. Yeah, I don't know why the name throws me off, but she meets him for dinner, and he was saying that his wife, which was friends, was dead, and so he was trying to basically.
Get up all on that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, "Well, I'm married. What the hell?" So
Yeah.
I don't know why that scene kind of happened. It seemed like it was an irrelevant scene in my idea. But the funniest scene was when Buscemi's character ends up getting shot in the mouth and gets after that he gets pissed off, and his partner ends up throwing his ass into a wood chipper at the end. I think was pretty damn funny because this guy would kill anybody, anything. He didn't care. That was his job.
That was his job. Yeah.
So yeah. So Bearded Geek. I know I went a lot, but I know Steve's not here this week. So what did you kind of think of the movie? I know we have different opinions of it.
We do have different opinions of it.
Yes, we do.
This is one of your favorite movies. This was the first time I've ever seen this movie, and I could have went on without ever seeing this movie.
Oh, boo, boo.
I mean, it did have its moments. It was
Somewhat entertaining.
entertaining-ish. Yeah, it was entertaining-ish.
Yeah.
I think the accents, I mean, they really overplayed the accents, I think, some of them. I mean, don't you know? I mean, I'm just driving down
That's
here to get some
bro.
coffee.
I tell you this movie relates to me now because back about I don't know, it was 2000, I don't know, it's like 20 years ago, give or take, 2003. I flew up to Minnesota. Remember, I did the training
Oh
for the
yeah.
district. So I flew up to Minnesota, and I was in Bloomington, which is where the Mall of America is.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed there basically right across the street from the Mall of America in a hotel. I had to go up to Brainerd. I went into Edina, Eden Prairie. I was in all those cities. And what was funny is they mentioned it in the movie, and I'm like, holy shit, I've been to Edina. I've been to Eden Prairie. I was like, I know what they're talking about. I know this movie now. So and they talk like that. It was very much of a culture shock when I went up there, and more recognizable now than it was, of course, then when I
Right.
watched the movie for the first time. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
it is Minnesota, the Minnesota and stuff like that. I
Minnesota.
get it. I get it, but I mean, this movie itself, it was. I wanted to find the end game in it, and I still felt like the movie ended without it. I guess they did wrap everything up, but I feel wanting
Yeah,
more. Like I don't feel like it wrapped up. Like why did he need the money? Why? What happened to Marge? I mean, and stuff like that. I mean, I guess she just carried on with her life, but
she probably
there
had the
was no
baby and
climax.
she was done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt like there was no climax. Everything seemed one note throughout the whole thing. Maybe that's just my interpretation of it, but yeah, it just seemed like a one note movie. There were no hills and valleys as far as climax and stuff like that. So that's what I felt about it. But let's go ahead and move on to ratings on this. Because
yeah. I
I
think.
don't want to dig it into the dirt because it was a
Yeah,
decent movie. But it's not my style of movie.
yeah,
I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was also in my phone. Some it didn't completely hold my attention. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and get into ratings. Mikey the Freak, what did you think of this movie to rate it?
Yeah, I think that what you were just basically bouncing off what you were saying about the ending, and it comes down to where everybody in the end, we know what was going to happen. So in Steve Buscemi's character, he's gone. His dad, or I'm sorry, his father-in-law was
Mm-hmm.
shot and killed.
His wife.
And then at the end, they're going to end up pinning all that on Jerry Lundergaard because they found him in
Mm-hmm.
the hotel trying to run from the police. So that so they're going to try him and all that kind of stuff, and basically pin all the deaths on him. But other than that, I liked the movie for what it was. It was a great story. Had a couple of funny parts, like I said, and I think that had to be a huge contributing factor with Steve Buscemi in the movie.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not the greatest. I would recommend it to watch it once. It is a huge culture shock. With they very got the the language to a T, and the little niches, I guess they would say, and how their
Mm-hmm.
accent is in the north of Minnesota, in North Dakota. But I'm thinking I'm going to give it a solid 7 for a movie. I wouldn't go much higher just because it's, like I said, it's not a great movie. It is a fun watch, but you could watch it a couple times to kind of know what's going on. But then you don't really have to watch it more than maybe 2 or 3 times. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
just to bounce off of you, we're not that far off on scores. Actually,
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm just one under you. It's an above average movie, but not like I said. It's just not something that just pulls me in. It's a slow movie. It's a slow burn.
yeah,
Like a one note movie, in my opinion. So it's one of those that if you're into that, if you're there is some sort of mystery involved in this movie, sort
yeah,
of, I guess. But it does play out well. It's a crime movie, so if you're into crime, you'll enjoy Fargo. But yeah, I gotta give it a 6. That's really all I can give it. Let me see what I have for some trivia or some facts about this movie. The
yeah.
role of Carl Showalter was written specifically for Steve Buscemi.
Oh, that works.
Um, William H. Macy begged the directors for the role of Jerry Lundegaard. He did 2 readings for the part and became convinced he was the man for the role. When the Coens didn't get back to him, he flew to New York and said, "I'm very, very worried that you're going to screw up this movie by giving this role to somebody else. It's my role.
Wow.
He said, I'll shoot your dogs if you don't give it to me." He was joking, of course. I will say, the role that he played in this Great work, great
Yeah, I think he
acting
did a
by
great
him.
job.
Yeah. Let's see. When Carl Showalter character calls Jerry Lundegaard for the deal to be done, he tells him 30 minutes and we'll wrap this up. From that moment, the film's running time is exactly 30 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
So there you have some fun facts from Fargo, eh?
Fargo,
What
North Dakota.
Yeah, we don't really have
Uh,
soundtrack this week because that's Steve's job and he's not here to do his job. So,
I
Mikey
really
the
don't think
Freak.
there was much on that soundtrack
Yeah, I
either.
don't think there was.
I don't think there was.
Mikey the Freak, what do you have for some related reels?
Yeah, so I did go with of course, three big characters. Of course, I always do. Frances McDormand, which played Marge. She is in Almost Famous, which is a good movie. Burn After Reading, which I always thought was an interesting movie, and a movie that is similar to this, that everyone would like if they have the opportunity to watch it. It's called Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. So it's a
That's a
weird,
long ass title.
it is, but it is a great watch. It's about her daughter dying, and she uses three billboards as advertising to find out who the murderer is. But it's a great movie. It's definitely worth the watch. I did go with Steve Buscemi, of course, Carl. He's in tons of Adam Sandler. He rode Adam Sandler's coattails through the 90s
Yeah.
with Mr. Deeds, Grown Ups 1 and 2, Wedding Singer, of course. And he was in one of our other movies that we've done on Back to the Retro Review, which was Reservoir Dogs as Mr. Pink. So I've got to always mention that one.
Okay, I got to mention Con Air with Steve Buscemi.
Yes, Con Air's a
Con
good
Air,
one too.
yeah.
He's been in so many good movies. I couldn't list 50 of them. But yeah,
That's true.
Con Air was a great movie as well. John Carroll Lynch, which played a very small part in this as Norm, Marge's husband. Of course, one of my favorite episodes that he's always been in, that the Bearded Geek had the pleasure to meet him last week, was American Horror Story as Twisty. Amazing role that he played in season 4 as Twisty. And I'm sure he was a great person to meet in real life.
He was. He was a really,
Yes.
really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Yeah. Love my picture. Me dressed up like Twisty. Great. Loved it.
Oh, you did?
He was in Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood. And then another great watch is he was Mac McDonald in The Founder with Michael Keaton and Nick Offerman. So that's the story of McDonald's, how Ray Kroc basically founded and did McDonald's. So The Founder. Great movie. Right now it's on Pluto TV. An excellent watch. So, but that's all I've got. Some excellent movies by some excellent actors in this movie.
Guys, I know he's not here, but go check out the last podcast you'd want. That is Steve's podcast, where he interviews people, talks about pop culture and stuff like that. It's a great watch.
Jurassic Park.
We've been on it. So yeah, great podcast, because it is the
Fun
last
show.
one you'd ever want. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Make sure you check out. Yeah. Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network. That is the sister channel to Back to the Retro Review, where we have a horror show, a gamer show, a wrestling show, and a Movie Talk Monday show, where we also go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. I believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. But if you like what we do here, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. If you're on YouTube, give us a good old thumb and hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you're listening to us audibly on any major podcasting platform, share away. Let people know that you like it. All right.
Share.
Yeah, so for Mikey the Freak, I am the Bearded Geek saying, keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.